All right, guys, we are back with another episode in person today, no more virtual. And I've got Lindsey Conrad here. And Lindsey, before we start, I want to shout you out for a couple reasons.
No.
One, in January when I met you, I think you gave a speech at an event that got everyone to kind of consider who they actually were. When we met in person, I think it was supposed to be a 30-minute meeting that turned into like an hour and a half.
Oops.
And in the short time period I have known you, seeing the transformation you've made over the last, let's call it 5 to 6 months, has definitely motivated me. So I want to welcome you to the show.
Appreciate you, dude. Glad to be here. Always good to hang out with you. You know that. I love hanging out with you.
So for everyone who doesn't know you, you don't just do one thing. So before we get into all of this, I want to go back to the start. So on this podcast, I've talked a lot about how I did not have a good experience with college and I didn't finish college. And I think you've done the same thing.
No, I had a good experience. I just didn't like the college part. That was the thing. I had a good experience hanging out with everybody. I began networking in college. Let's start with what it is. So when I went to college, I found it to be interesting, but I thought the professors were telling me something that like I didn't really understand. Like I didn't get it. I'm not a book guy. I mean, I'm more of an in-person. I like to have conversations. I like to understand people. I like to get to know them. I like their perspective of things. I like to understand from my perception of things, and kind of mold those together. So when I was going to college, I figured like they were talking at me. I figured like, the economy, econ book, okay, I get it, 1 + 1 has to equal 2. I get that part. And I did that part and I understand that. But when it comes to a lot of this stuff, I feel like it just wasn't for me. Now it's for a lot of people, but I'm the guy that brings people together. I'm the guy that does stuff like that. And I just felt like I'm sitting there in a book, like people looking at me like, learn this, talk. And I'm like, so it wasn't for me.
So when you say you learned networking, what do you mean by that? For someone out there who maybe they have straight A's right now, but they maybe haven't met anyone in college, what do you felt like you learned to network?
Oh my God, just go up and smile at someone. Make someone's day better. Do something to interact with humans. I mean, we all look at our phones now, which is so annoying because, it's life. But the reality is put your phone down and live a little. So when you're in college, the best time of your life, everyone says it. I agree. I mean, if I go back, it was really fun. But the reality of it is you do your work. Just make friends. They're the long-lasting lifelong friends. I mean, I've made some. I know you have too.
Yeah. A few of my buddies, we met in college, and to this day, I think a lot of us, it's good to have a network that's on a similar timeline to you, because a lot of times a friend can lift you up, a friend can tell you about an opportunity. But yeah, I don't think the classes were ever anything that I was in love with.
Yeah, it just became like kind of boring to me. And I started a business then, and I was like, okay, look, my dad gave me a hard time. He was a nurse, and he's telling me, he's like, well, you need to go there to do your 9 o'clock class. I'm sitting there going, yeah, all right, I ain't doing it. And, I felt like when I was going in there, I could take, this is kind of cocky. I don't mean it like this, but I felt like some of the professors, I wanted to go up and help them. I just want to be like, okay, let me get you going on this because you're losing everybody. You see everyone with their heads down. Everyone's going through the motions. And even at the age of 18, 19, 20, I couldn't go through the motions. I just, it's when people waste time, when people waste their energy, when people waste their abilities, it's literally the one thing that bothers me most in the world.
Yeah, and that's what it was for me, because I think I had that same, it felt like college was a linear path. And I'm a guy who some months I'm like this, some months I'm like that.
Absolutely.
And when you feel that, you start to get itchy. And for me, it was the same thing. I actually bought an LLC. I don't think I did anything with it at the time, but I know you said you did start your first business. So what was that?
OnlyFans. No. Food Finder. No. No. But I did. But real quick before we go to that, so the ups and downs. So my favorite book ever is a 90-page book, and I don't read. Like I'm seriously like I'm damn near illiterate. I'm like, I mean, the big print. I'm just kidding. But it's Peaks and Valleys, and that book would make sense of that because it really does. It starts with exactly what you just said. Is that some days we're on the peak, some days we're in the valleys, and we just want to get stuck in the damn plateau in the damn valley, But anyways, going back to that. No, I started a business in college. I went to a small school in Pennsylvania, played small school football, got hurt, but I was always into weightlifting. So in high school I set the lifting records. In college I did too, believe it or not, in small school, and I got hurt. So when I left that college because you're no longer playing football at some point, we get it's like you're not going to be a pro. Let's be a big boy.
Yeah.
I thought, well, this is boring. I'm not doing what I like to do. Every day of my life, I was in the gym, I was meeting people, I was doing my thing, I was networking. And I thought, so I started a company called Ohio Bodybuilding. I was never a bodybuilder. I was always a power lifter, or just a lifter. I don't know what the hell it would be. I just like the damn gym. So, and I got a contract with Jim Lorimer, who was Arnold Schwarzenegger's partner. Because he didn't want to give it to someone else. So I got that through him, and I ended up throwing parties for the Arnold Classic at Promo West in Columbus, 3,000 people. I mean, it was all these like professional bodybuilders, fitness models. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like insane. I'm charging 50 a head. I'm selling out. And then I'm selling shirts that had crude comments. Let's not say those aren't floating around. But that's
Yeah, no
also,
links. Sorry, guys.
yeah, please. We're not actually, maybe fuck it.
Bring it back one day.
I'll bring them around. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll sell a bunch of them. So I did that. And then I did that for a couple years. I teamed up with a couple people that were professional bodybuilders, and it ended up going sideways. So I learned a lot from that. But there was a lot of stuff that went down that was over my head. So when we did these events at Promo West the first year, I thought, okay, cool. I'm going to charge whatever per head. I'm super popular with all these guys. It was really fun. And then the next year I called Promo West. I'm like, hey, can I get in there to do this thing? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, fuck no. What did I do? Like, oh shit, I thought we just made it like a fuck ton of money. Like, this is crazy. They're like, no, we made no money from the bar. Nobody was doing it because bodybuilding world, guess what? Nobody drinks. They were doing other stuff. Great. And I didn't even know. I'm like this naive idiot. I'm like 21. I'm like, oh. So like, well, we need to split the money. So then the second year I started realizing the reality of this, that there was a lot of vanity. It wasn't for me. It was a lot of like bullshit stuff. And then the partner I had ended up having a story that's on Netflix and killed someone, like literally killed the third part of a triad, Craig Titus and Gilly Ryan. You could look it up, but like it turned into this huge mess where like they burned this girl in like the Las Vegas. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like 22 years old. I'm like, this cannot be like life. Like I cannot be in this world. Like,
so after like 3 years of entrepreneurship, you've seen something worse than people could have seen in a whole career.
Oh my God. It was the worst thing ever. Like, I mean, so not only did I start like with this naive kid thinking that I'm going to make all this money, and I did, and it was going really, really well, but it's like the dark side of the world came out. And I was like, so smacked right in the face with my my just not understanding of like people can be bad people. And like, honestly, to this day, I'm still dealing with that shit. Like, I mean, every day I'm like learning more of how to like understand people's perspectives. Like I spend a lot of time on that. I'm actually doing a book on it. Like I'm really into it because I was burned so many damn times.
Yeah. So one of the things, my last guest, Sean Christie, was on here, and we were both in the same fraternity in college. And one of the things when you're joining the fraternity is a lot of, I call it character identification.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And at the time you're like, this is just unnecessary hazing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm dealing with this. But then you get into the real business world and you realize, like my dad has a quote is, business is easy, people are hard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was it. And I didn't know it was coming. So I was like, so what am I going to do? So literally, I think I was 3 years in, and everyone wanted the rights to this party. I mean, I think it was a big deal that, you go down there, everybody's there. It's a big deal. And I thought, I cannot do this anymore. These people are absolutely insane.
And when did you have that idea compared to when you actually cut it off? Like when did that thought first enter your mind of like, this isn't the right thing anymore?
I don't know. When I started like seeing people just being weird, like, the stuff that's like out of character, I guess I just wasn't ready for some people to be like, I don't know, overwhelming. Like, I mean, like, I'm an easygoing guy. When people started lying to me, first, I hate that. I'll tell you that one day. But in being weird and doing things behind your back and being undercut, and then the drug thing, I'm not into drugs. Like, it was too much of that bullshit. Like, I didn't understand why they weren't making money at the bar. Like, they had to tell me, they're like, hey, stupid.
Yeah, because for everyone out there, in the bodybuilding world, a lot of these guys are on very heavy performance-enhancing drugs, which are liver toxic. So for them to add alcohol into the mix is something they don't do, which leads to them picking more party drugs.
Exactly. And I was not a party drug guy. I mean, I was in college, drank Busch Light like everybody else. Like I didn't think anything of it. And then like, holy shit, smacked in the face of reality. It's like, hi, I like to do this. And then I'm looking around like these crazy people. So when that hit, I started realizing this was not for me. There was two choices at that point. I will be honest about that. It was an interesting situation. There were two paths. And I could have gone down either one. And then I luckily made the right decision.
So what were the two paths?
The path was join the idiots or become amazing. I mean, by not doing the things they're doing and elevate my life and elevate everyone around me, or go down the dark path of these people doing the wrong things and then hang out with the wrong people and then have let's call it what happens, the wrong results. Yeah. It always is. I mean, if you're not doing the right thing, what happens?
Yeah, wrong results.
Wrong things.
And so after this, you realize, okay, this isn't my world. I tried being an entrepreneur. Why did you not quit being an entrepreneur at this point? Because I think some people would have been like, man, I took a risk. Risk doesn't work out. How did you know it wasn't risk that was the problem? How did you know it was the opportunity?
Well, I didn't initially. I was like, this shit sucks. I'm going to get a job. I don't know what to do. I sold it for a lot of money, so I didn't have to work. So I'm looking around like, what am I going to do now? My family's like, okay, they thought I was a drug dealer. They didn't know what I was doing. They were like, what the hell is going on? Because seriously, who at 22, 23 is doing that? Not a lot of people, especially when they like didn't stop going to college. My dad's like, well, I think my dad made at the time 60 grand. You know what I mean? As a nurse,
Which
registered
at the
nurse.
time was a good salary.
Fantastic. It still isn't bad to this day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you do okay. I mean, maybe the world sucks now a little bit, but so I I made more than him like right away, and he was pissy about it. And I was like, well, I'm not doing this anymore. So that's when I knew that if I worked for someone my entire life, that I'd have a ceiling. And gosh, I don't like a ceiling.
You start
Gosh,
to
I
feel
hate a
trapped.
ceiling. Yeah. I don't like a ceiling.
So what were some of the options going through your head? You know you don't want a ceiling. And then obviously at this time, I'm assuming your dad was a good figure for you growing up. Yes, no? Who did you have a leader? Did you have a mentor where you could say, this is a person I can always ask for guidance, or was
Yeah.
that something you had to find?
Now, my grandfather was self-employed is really what happened. And so I looked up to him a lot when it came to the business aspect. He sent me out when I was 16 through probably 19 to Home Depots all over Buffalo, Erie. And then what I would do is do product knowledge sessions with the guys at Home Depot. I would train them how to use Lutron dimmers. I'd train them how to Siemens load centers, the breaker boxes. I would show them how to do it. I thought at 16, I'm like showing these guys how to do it. And they're so like not getting it. And I would show them how to order. I'm like, why does this look like this? I'd build the displays. I'm like, guys, we have to do better. And so I knew then if I made this better, we would have more income coming in. So at 16 through 19, I started realizing, okay, so if I sell one of these dimmers, I make 7 cents, or whatever the hell the number was.
Yeah.
If I sell a fuck ton of those dimmers, we're going to make a lot of 7 cents. So then I started adding things to it. Then I would go into Home Depots overnight, set everything up. I go all over Buffalo, all over Cleveland, all over Erie. I would do this whole region. And then I knew at that point that I needed to find what was for Lindsey. But at that point, it's very hard to find because at this point, everyone's telling me, you need to go back to school. You're missing this. You need to follow the line. Everybody wants you to get in the line. And I don't like the damn line. I like to be out of the line. If the line's going straight, I'm like zig, 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 zig. I'm a little insane, but it works.
And what advice would you give to someone out there who's maybe feeling that right now? Like they don't necessarily know what they want to do, but they are starting to know what they don't want to do.
First off, just don't make an irrational decision. Use your brain. So everyone goes, well, I'm going to quit and I'm going to start a business. And then, well, did you even think about this? Like you cannot just go one day and say, now I open this business and this is it. Do you have a plan? Do you have an action? I mean, what's the big picture? So I'm 30 steps ahead of every step I make. I am literally insane though. So just don't follow how that goes. What I do is I literally think of all the scenarios that can happen, positive and negative, and then I play from those positive or negative times 100. And then I run through it and I make an educated decision on my hypotheses of what I think is going to be the outcome. So I would say, make sure you research what you're doing, make an educated decision based on not emotion, but on emotion included, because it's definitely emotional, but a decision based on your feeling in your body, not your heart. Everyone says your heart, your body, your whole being. It's like, I know this is going to work. I have a feeling about everything.
Yeah. And how did you learn to trust that? Because I've met a lot of people who say the same thing you just said, where some of their biggest regrets are not necessarily things they haven't done, but it's not trusting their gut.
We could do this for a damn hour. I'll tell you what, that is the worst. If I try to force things, I've tried to force things recently. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It is a crash and burn. Literally, you cannot force things. What's meant to happen will happen. But you need to make the decision that if it happens and it's going to be 80% of what you think is going to happen, it's a success. It really is. So you have to trust your gut. If your gut is telling you it's wrong, you can't force something. So think about this. You want to open a business. You're like, all right, I'm selling widgets, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm selling, and I'm going to do this, but I don't really believe I'm going to be successful with it. Or I believe maybe I don't know the whole plan, or I believe that like I have a couple holes, but yeah, we'll figure it as we go. In some capacity, that's fine. But in the big picture, that's not. What you need to do is have a plan, stick to it. Now, if it's not perfect, that's okay. Again, 80%, that's my rule. Everybody, that is a fair rule. And I think that works.
Yeah.
When I get something, and if it's 80% of what I thought it was going to be, I win.
Yeah.
Or, if someone does something for me and they're getting something together or something's working and it's not like exactly like I like it, I used to get really mad. Here, I'll talk about Vicky real quick. This is interesting. So Vicky started with me 2.5 years ago as an executive assistant, and then kind of graduated into a different position, and she's like enhanced her life and kind of risen everything. But I would go in, and I'm the mortgage chef, so I'm doing cooking, and I would say, okay, I want this, let's do it this way. And she would cut the thing the wrong way. She'd do something different. And I'm looking at it, and the first time I went to this event, I'm like, God bless it. I knew I should have did it. Then I look over, and everyone's smiling, having fun. Everything is good. Now remember, it's 80%.
Yeah.
80% of what I thought. That's when I realized that day, about 2.5 years ago, I realized I'm worried about nothing.
You were spending 100% energy on the 20 that didn't matter.
It was miserable. So then it changed my life. And then it took me another year to kind of get better at that. And this last year, oh, dude, I'm zinging. You can't even mess with me. I mean, I'm boom, 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 boom. I'm hitting threes.
Yeah, and I've seen that even in a short period of time. Just it's not that I wouldn't say you're irrational with your decisions. You talk through things a lot faster, and I can tell your brain is processing things, I think, faster than most people around you.
I see things now.
Yeah.
And I see them very clearly. And if they're not clear to me, I'm doing it.
And I think a big one for everyone watching who's seeing you today, they may not know, but let's go back 2 years ago. Did you look a little different?
I got stung by a bee.
Yeah, everywhere.
No, yeah, everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I was running around. I was a Winnie Pooh in the thing, and I got hit by the bees. No, I was much bigger. So I went through a period of time I wasn't happy with myself, to be completely honest. We go through ups and downs in life. I was in a marriage I was unhappy with someone that wasn't positive, and I will always generally been a positive person. I lost myself for a moment, and honest damn truth. I mean, we all do. It ups and downs, peaks and valleys. I got stuck on a damn plateau, though, and I will tell you, after that plateau, I will never do that again. I have learned so much in the last year. Oh, goodness. I hope to change as many lives as I can by sharing my information with these people. And that's why you see everything I do. So, yeah, I dropped a lot of weight. One day I decided to do the carnivore diet. I saw everyone doing it. And I thought, I'm going to go to Jesus because it's all fat. Everybody's telling me I'm going to die and all this stuff. I'm going to die if I stay this size. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So what was your heaviest weight?
586.
And that was the day you weighed yourself.
Yeah, I was like, fuck.
And so what was there a moment that made you realize like this has to change? Because obviously you knew for a while.
I weighed fucking 586. You know what I mean? Like it was like I looked at that. I'm like, holy fuck! I'm like the 600-pound person on the fucking internet. Like this is horrible. Like how did I do this? I played college football. I was the strongest person everywhere. I mean, everything was gone. Then I just realized I was stuck in this hell of like negativity, of like manipulation, of like people using me constantly, taking advantage of me. And I just didn't know how to get out of it.
So do you think you applied a lot of that to food? You thought
Of course.
people are controlling me, but I can control this variant in my
Well, I
life.
think that's one thing that everybody does in some ways. If it's not going big, it's going, less food, or it's drugs, or it's alcohol. And I also drank a lot. I mean, let's call it what it is. I lived in the suburbs. Every Friday, everyone wanted to go out. I mean, what do we have before we go to bed? Pizza and wings. What do we have on Saturday? Okay, we're having more beers. I mean, it just contributes to the
and
negativity.
it builds and it builds.
It's horrible. And then you sleep on Sunday till noon. I mean, are you fucking kidding? I don't even know if I've till noon. I mean,
day,
right?
yeah.
I mean, but so life is full of ups and downs. You just can't get stuck on the damn plateau. And I did. So, it's easier said than done. So for everybody that's stuck on the plateau, I get it. It sucks. But there's light at the end of the tunnel.
So if someone right now is in that, let's say they're under eating or they've been overeating for a while, what is day one to change? So let's say they're watching this, it's 7 a.m. What do they do after that?
Okay. So my life, let's go with my life, and then you can do, there's one for everyone else. So I chose the carnivore. I thought if I could do 30 days of this and this changes my life, and I've seen these outcomes of these people, then something good was going to happen. So I said, I'm just going to do 30 days. Well, I got like 2 in. I wanted to kill everybody. Like I was freaking out. I was like, I was like losing my fucking shit. Like I was like having a very, very fucking hard time.
Basically withdrawal from carbs.
I was addicted to food. No, just food in general. Like just not just carbs, like fucking everything. So because imagine like I'm having like eggs and bacon, and I'm like, this sucks. The first day it's cool to have bacon, but then like day 3 you're like, where the fuck is the bread? Like where's like the orange juice? Where's like the ice cream? Oh, there's no toast. And then dinner, it's like a steak again. Oh my God, I hate steak now. Day 2, it's like, oh yeah. I mean, I'm getting Wagyu too, so I'm like, let it rip. You know what I mean?
It's not like, hey, he's not buying the bad beef, guys.
Yeah. This is from a farmer in Navarre. I mean, this is one of one. On day 3, I was sick of Wagyu. That's bad. Then I started going, okay, come on, man, you can get through this. So I was miserable to everyone. I mean, I cut out all the diet sodas. I cut out all the bullshit. Day 4, I wanted to jump off a bridge. Day 5, I was feeling really bad. Day 6, I probably didn't want to be around anybody. Day 7, I was like, wait, this isn't that bad.
So what do you think changed there? Was a lot of it mental?
Oh, 1,000,000% of it's mental. So I work in a recovery center. I run a nonprofit in Medina. It's Serenity. It's a French restaurant. Edwin's twin. It's a different one, but I would 100% correlate this to drugs and alcohol. Yeah, I mean, it is an addiction. I was addicted, and I didn't know how to not be addicted. I was addicted to the comfort from it. And then, it's funny. I ran into someone that's a very, very excellent chef in Cleveland, and we'll just leave him off of this because it's not fair to say names. But he's extremely famous and does very good. Probably one of the bigger ones you'll know. And he went through some things, and I saw him in an outside capacity somewhere, and we had a talk, and he kind of gave me, like, we all have these, he told me about his journey. And, he looked at me and said, well, Lindsey, you kind of got one. This is before I started going down. And I didn't understand it, but then I did. I'm like, well, shit, maybe it is. So nobody ever kind of, like, I wasn't hip to the fact that I was addicted to food.
But then, so yeah, because we all have them. I mean, for me, I work with a personal trainer and do some of his content, and I didn't realize, like, every morning at 11:30, I would have this like horrible anxiety. Nothing, like, you could call me with great news and I still wouldn't feel good. But what I was doing is I was making protein pancakes.
Yeah.
With a lot of chocolate chips every day.
Of course.
And the first thing he said to me is, he's like, don't touch any part of your diet, just no pancakes anymore.
Ugh.
And then I realized, like, I'm addicted to sugar.
You're addicted to sugar.
That's all it was.
It sucks. I mean, mine wasn't as much sugar as it was, it was no carbs, the same thing, but it was like, yeah, that. I mean, no offense. I have my favorite pizza places, and I have a very good friend that has one. Two friends, actually. I have two of the best pizza places in Cleveland. That's why they're my friends, because I would go there all the time. I see them all the time, and I still like to see them. It's just in a different capacity now.
Yeah. So you learned boundaries with yourself, I would say.
Well, the thing is, when I started the carnivore thing, then it started becoming a little bit easier. So everyone said you're not going to be hungry all the time. And I thought, that's never happened to me in 40 years of my life. But it did. I actually got to ketosis for the first time in my life. Now, remember, I was a college football player, set the lifting records in high school. I mean, they were there for 25 years or longer.
Yeah.
In college, I blasted those records. And now I'm fat. Like, what in the hell happened? You know what I mean? Like, and I had never been in ketosis. I mean, I was running the even in college and when the football days, I was running the 110-yard sprints in like 18 seconds, what you had to do. And nobody could finish. They're all throwing up. And I got to 21 of them, no problem. But then what happened? Like, how did something flip? And what happened is just time and decisions and things like that. So when I got to ketosis finally, that's when things changed for me. I was very happy, and I saw light at the end of the tunnel.
And so that would have been how long into you trying the carnivore diet?
Probably 10 days.
And at that point, when you say you saw the light at the end of the tunnel, obviously, were there many physical changes you could notice then or no?
Things started slowing down for me.
Yeah? Like, meaning just your anxiety or how you thought? What do you mean by slow down?
Everything. I saw things clearer. I could see everything.
So do you think one of the things that maybe a lot of people don't realize who are really overweight is that it's probably their brain that's being affected the most, even if they're still showing other signs in other areas of their body?
Same thing when you do drugs and alcohol. Same when you're addicted to anything else, cigarettes. When you're addicted to caffeine, I'm addicted to caffeine. I still admit that. But
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
here.
But like, let's call it what it is. You start to see things differently. You start to understand things differently. But the carnivore thing with the ketosis really, 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 really changed stuff. I can never go backwards now. It is unattainable. I felt like I was on the Limitless movie. I think I've told you this multiple times. I'm on the Limitless movie every day of my life. Everybody asks me, how do you do this stuff? Are you a beast? I get a nice thing to Sherry. That's a shout to you. She keeps saying that. But you know how? I see things good now. And I honestly really haven't had a couple of days. I've had some days with carbs. You sneak them in here. You go out and they got this in the thing, or you order the wings and their bread. You're like, shit. You know what I mean? Like,
They'll sneak in.
They sneak in. I feel lethargic. I feel tired, and I feel foggy.
And do you feel like now you have a different control on it though? Because I think for a lot of people, one wing could turn into 6 months of I eat whatever I want, right?
Oh, geez. Yeah. So here's the thing. Do I want to feel like shit all the time, or do I want to be amazing all the time? I mean, literally, do I want to sleep in, or do I want to get up and feel refreshed? Yep. Do I want to snore and have sleep apnea, or do I want to wake up and kill it? I mean, this is the decision I make every day.
Yeah. And that was what it was for me in alcohol. And I didn't share about it until I think a couple of weeks ago I posted on Facebook. But a lot of people in the business world, like we've talked about, they have these parties where free alcohol is their marketing.
Of course.
And when you do that, that's who you're marketing to. You want people who come for free alcohol. And I think it's been a little refreshing to go to some places where that's not the MO, and you can actually see that there are another group of people that, and it can be called an addiction, but their addiction is the feeling better and getting the rewards from things that are not in their body or chemical.
Very much so. So my best networking, we've discussed this, is the gym.
It is.
My best, oh my gosh, I have met the most amazing people. I'll tell you, Adam Ziegler pushed me to go do this. I'll tell you, and I've told you this before, to go to Pro Sports Performance in Strongsville. Jason Trunznick owns it. He's a fantastic guy, old football player. I felt comfortable there. But then you start meeting these people. Like the other day, I'm done with my bench press, which we got to. You're going to get to the big boy bench, so I felt good. Big numbers on it. I felt good. I had 275 for reps and sets, and that means I'm back. I'm back in the game. But Brian Panchak, who does some car dealerships, was getting done at the end of the workout. We did our 6:45 and 7:30, and he's going to do a cardio with Danny, one of the trainers there. And he's like, nobody's here to do this with me. I go, fuck it, I'll do it. It's just I want to hang out. But you know what? It was so nice to talk to this guy. I never had a moment to actually have a conversation with someone that's super successful, super positive, super nice, and just connected unbelievably, super helpful. And he really helped me out recently at a spot I was in. I mean, it was unbelievable. And it was just nice. You don't get a lot of opportunities like that. So when I relate this to is if we go to the bar and we're going to do Square 22, which is next to my office. Okay. Yeah. So we're having beers. Okay, fire them up. 9 to 10 people are there for the beers. That one person's being hounded by everyone else. That one person, you got to figure out who the hell that one person is too by going through conversations with each of these people. Now, I'm not saying these networking events aren't good in some way.
They can be.
But what I found is I fast forwarded my life by surrounding myself by positive people that are like-minded that want to take over the world in a different way. Now, we can go to the bar. Like, I'll see you there. Like, we'll have a couple of drinks. I still do drink. I mean, it's not like I'm not Virgin Mary over here. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, I mean, but it's not drinking,
it's not the goal anymore. And I think that's something a lot of people don't admit when they are doing these is they're going out to drink, and it's also cool that it's a networking event. Whereas making that shift to, I want to go here for the people, for the conversations. And if I have a drink, that's very different.
Exactly. And when I go out with my friends and of course I'm going to have some drinks, you know what I mean? Like, again, I'm living life. I'm not a hermit. I'm not a monk. It's funny. I was out with one of my friends recently, a gal this fantastic woman. She's a realtor and she's very positive, and I really appreciate her company. And she tricked me into going to hot yoga. Let me tell you about that one. So after two workouts. So now I did the 6:45 bench, 275 reps. Then at the 7:30 with Brian and Danny. Fucking hour.
Oh, this is the same day?
It's the fucking same day. So I don't eat during the day usually. I'm down to one meal a day because I just feel better. My Limitless thing, which is weird, I know. I'm like, God, I gotta have a Quest bar. So I have a Quest bar. I have a second one. So this is like Denton Pinecrest, all the fuck way out there. So I go out to Pinecrest, and Sherry's telling me it's no big deal. So she posts a little Snapchat saying, "I have my special friend coming. Wait till you see this." If I would have saw that fucking thing before I went. Anyways, so I go. I'm like, it's a little warm in here.
120,
dude, I almost passed out. Like twice, and I'm admitting this is bad. I pulled that shit off, though. I got through it. I mean, but I was thinking to myself going,
when the towel doesn't work to get the sweat off, that's how you know one. Oh, you didn't have a towel.
I know what the hell. I've never done yoga in my life. Oh, yeah, I don't know what the hell fucking yoga is. Like, you're a yogi. I'm like, Yogi Bear? Like, I have no clue what I'm doing. Oh, goodness. So anyways, we get through that whole thing, and I felt like it was an achievement to be pushed to that point. But, it's one of those things, though, that we got to that point. I did it, but I'm not also going to go and not have a drink with the guys the next night, and we have, but it's not going to be a carb drink. It's going to be tequila with seltzer and lime. Yeah. You know what I mean? Something like that.
So you're making the intelligent pick when you do decide to do it.
And she has a couple friends that are very strict, and we both do. You and I, they're very strict, and they're they're going to go to bed early, which is totally good. And they maybe wouldn't have the drink, or if they would do those 3 workouts and then the day, and then be like, well, I'm up at 6 to the next one. I was up the next day, no problem. I was at the gym. But what I'm saying is I still want to live a little because the problem is it's balanced everything.
Yeah.
It's balanced everything.
And I think a big thing no one gives you enough credit for with the balance is with all this food control, diet, and self-care, you've managed to grow, what is it now, 5 food brands?
Oh yeah, so the food things are crazy. Yeah, we have stuff where we moved it over down the street a little bit. I didn't like the location we were at. We had a couple cars getting broken into in the city. The city loves you until they don't. You know how that goes. And I love the city. That's why I live here. But so we had to make a little shift on that. But yeah, I've grown my food brands. I have a new huge haul coming. I a lot of stuff.
So if someone doesn't know what a ghost kitchen even is, like how do you explain this new concept? Because it hasn't been around forever.
So the ghost kitchen's really easy. It's one kitchen that has 5 labels on it, let's say. So it's like, okay, we have Mexican, Italian, breakfast, nachos, whatever it would be, all coming out of one kitchen. So but then different labels. So you can order 5 different restaurants, but it's really one restaurant in. What my new concept is a little bit different. I've upgraded this. So my new concept is not only we have ghost kitchens, but we also have a sitting down area. So imagine coming into a ghost kitchen, so you can get delivery through all the platforms. Then you can come in, also sit, but then order from those 5 platforms. So it's like a glorified mall, where you get the options, but with actual food that's not made from processed stuff that you'll die from. The reality is that this is an upgraded version. That then what my idea is to bring in some local brands. Clothing brands, one that I'm close with, a florist, other things, a winery, local beer company. Again, this is all coming very soon. I have the building; it's over Gordon Square. So the idea of that is to kind of bring everybody together into one space. So it's an upgraded ghost kitchen. So ghost kitchens are fine, but then the world is changing, and now we need to take it up a notch, just like everything. I mean, eBay. eBay stores are really cool at one point, but you don't see them anymore. I mean, you look at the red box, I don't know even how it works.
Yeah.
But the reality is 2024 is different from 2023. So right now we need to figure out what's happening in the world and how to upgrade so ghost kitchens are successful. But now what's the next natural progression? Unity.
Yeah. And I think Mike Magno was the last guy we were talking to about this. It's not just happening in Cleveland, it's happening everywhere. Having these spaces where people can actually now re-meet together. Because I think the ghost kitchens thrive because of COVID. Is that fair to say?
100%.
But now we're in this world where people now do want to come back together.
They need to, because everyone has their phone. Everyone's looking at their phone, which is fine. I do the same damn thing. But the reality of it is, isn't it nice to sit down with somebody you haven't seen in a while? I mean, even if it's like, I don't want to see this person, they're going to tell me about their mom and their brother. But then you go down and you're like, damn, that was nice. Usually, unless they suck. But I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean?
And I think a lot of people miss that in today's day and age, and especially as like a guy who does it. The goal of posting or sharing anything online is for that in-person interaction. Like, yes, it's nice to see the clicks and all of that, but you're using it as a vehicle to get back in person. The goal is not to stay on the phone.
Well, most people's goals are and to make fake shit. If everybody wants to know, I mean, you do my videos, so you understand everything I post in my stories, which you've taught me because I'm an idiot and I was posting them like randomly everywhere. I post what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I mean, guys, let's talk about this. Maybe you said this to me. I've been told this multiple times. They say, Lindsey, you're 110% go and 10% talk. No, I'm a big talker, but the reality was I wasn't telling anybody all the stuff I'm doing, the multiple nonprofits, the multiple businesses, the multiple, interaction with people, just you name it, all that stuff. I was keeping it to myself. But then when I started to post it, everyone goes, whoa, are you doing this just for the gram? No, I'm doing this because I'm fucking doing it. I just thought I'd share with you guys. You're welcome.
And I think, like, even for me, I remember when you were talking about the different mortgage offices you had, you said Miami at first, and I assumed Miami, Ohio. And then it settled in, and Vicky's like, no, that's in Florida. And I was like, oh, that Miami. And I
Welcome
think
to Miami,
and
Will Smith giving in. All right, yeah, come on, let's go.
But I think it's a bigger thing for everyone out there that there are a lot of people who posture or they try to show something not as it is. And that's why when I said I was first excited to see you, I was like, there is this rare guy here who does way more than he shares. And so then the fun comes in, how do I share this? Because there are usually a lot more people who are interested in what you do than you think.
I am actually overwhelmed with that. And I appreciate everyone that reaches out to me. Seriously, I mean, sometimes it's overwhelming. I get a lot of messages a day. A lot of guys. Hey, I mean, I get calls. I got a guy from the corporate office at our financial backer the other day. I lost 40 pounds a day. I'm not saying his name. He's, I'm in the car and I'm just like, that's such a nice call. I mean, I just get messages and upon messages and just, hey, keep me going. So I thought, well, shit, if I could just post this stuff that I'm doing. Just doing it anyways. I post a picture of me flexing today. I'm like, that was a little cocky, but but usually it's just what the fuck I'm doing. And it kind of goes there. And people go, do you really do all that stuff? Well, absolutely.
Yeah. You watching it?
I mean, this isn't me just running around to take a picture for the gram and running away. I mean, like, no. This is what I do. And then to be fair, just so you guys know, I don't post all of it. I mean, it's kind of annoying. Yeah. So, I mean, I have a private life too. It doesn't seem like it. And everyone would probably think, when does he have time to do that? That's a fair statement. I make it.
Yeah.
I make time for everyone. Can I add one more thing while we're talking about this? Very important.
Always.
People always tell me, Lindsey, I'm afraid to reach out to you because you're too busy. Lindsey, I'm this. Now, listen, I may not pick up on the first ring. I may take 15 minutes to call you back. Hell, I might take an hour to call you back. But I always get back with you. So please, God, don't tell everyone I'm too busy to deal with you.
Yeah.
That is the fucking thing that bothers me most. Never am I too busy, especially when there's a problem or someone needs to talk something out or they need a little back rub. you better damn call me. I am more annoyed if you don't call me.
And I think that's something for everyone watching out too. Most people you think are too big to reach out to, they aren't. They're just busy. Like when a guy like Lindsey's running Ghost Kitchens, he's running a mortgage company, he has people that count on him, and then he's building out new deals. There's just a certain amount of hours in the day that are going to have to go to what is necessary. But there's still always, like I tell everyone this, when you first start making content and posting, a lot of people are like, well, how do I engage with people? I'm like, you're going to lay on your couch tonight for 2 hours. You could message people back, or you could rot the brain on TikTok.
Literally. Now, I watch very little TV anymore, and I watch very little TikTok. And to be fair, this is probably surprising. I really don't do a lot of social media. Like I post, but like
You're more of a creator than a consumer at this point.
you're exactly damn right. I mean, I find it to be overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like I have to keep up with stuff. It's like I don't have to keep up with shit. You better keep up with me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm just saying like it's natural. Like humans, like you just see like, well, maybe I should go do that because that looked cool. You know, which is fine. And that's why we have social media. But then it becomes like overwhelming if you see that a lot.
And what it can do, and it can take your root up and move it. And I think that's the most dangerous thing is like making sure your root stays where it is. Because once you become a victim of I'm doing this because someone else did, you lose all your own reasoning.
It drives me nuts. I mean, the whole point of me doing the social media stuff recently is to share everyone because I want everybody to be better. I will tell you the God's honest truth that my goal in life is to wake up and be the best Lindsey I can be, which I've learned that in the last year and a half. But I knew it before I lost it. And to everyone that's around me, to take them up 10 fucking notches every day and make them the best people they are. And sometimes it's very hard for that because they don't want to.
Yeah. And how do you handle as you grow? Because obviously you're talking to a lot of people, and I'm sure not every opportunity works out. How do you know when someone wants it as bad as you? Is that a feel thing? Are there questions you can ask?
It's all feel. Everything's feel. And you don't feel in your heart or your head. You feel in your being. This is a lot. I'm probably getting a little too deep into this, but I know when I'm having a conversation if someone's genuine. And I understand where they're at. My goal is to understand their perspective of every conversation. So a lot of people, if they would just do that, we'd have no wars. We'd have no problems. Because if you know how someone else thinks, it's much easier to get along with them.
Yeah.
So I know how you think a lot, believe it or not. That's why we get along.
Yeah, and I know that was the first day we talked. We went a lot into more of the psychology side. So for everyone nerding out there, like a lot of people that watch this are from California. They're in a little more forward-thinking places than Cleveland. What are some of the things you've done for your own brain and emotions to take care of yourself? Not necessarily the eating side, but how do you take care of Lindsey's brain?
I learned to listen to people. I learned to understand other people's versions of things. I understand now that my version of things maybe isn't always right. That's hard. Hard.
That one stings.
Especially when you're like, me. You know, I mean, like, everyone wants to, come to you with problems and stuff. And I just want to be like, hey, dummy, that's stupid. But, you're thinking to yourself, going, no. To them, that's the most important thing in their day. We need to address this. I need to make sure I address this because their perception of this is so deep that they can't shake it. So I need to understand their perspective so well, better than they do, to help them.
Yeah, like that quote, everyone's worst problem is their worst problem.
It is. Listen, I got one right now that, we're not even going to get into, that's been bothering me. And it's one of those things, and I call it a loop. And I just run this loop. And it's like a racetrack. Just watch the car, zoom, zoom, zoom. And it's the same fucking problem. And I'm like, God bless it. I know it's not a problem. But to me, it is.
Yeah, because
it's
you're
so
in the
stupid.
loop.
But everybody comes up to me, and the people that are very close to me know about this problem, and it's not a big problem. I'm addressing it, but it's just something that bothers me. It's like a personal thing, and I'm thinking to myself, going, everyone's like, you're being a baby about this. Don't worry about this.
But to you, it is your biggest problem.
It is like this focus that I think and I wake, and because it's like something that I can't address.
What do they call it? The spiritual rock in your shoe?
Oh God, let's take that fucker out and throw it. Yeah, but the problem is, so then I have something that I've helped. I see 3 women, and this is God's honest truth. So it's anybody. I have a business coach that went to Case. She's fantastic. I have a psychologist that's in the consciousness and raising your level and your vibration. And I have a Reiki lady who's 70, does massages, unmarked place that executives go to. And Renee, you are a lifesaver. So when I go, I said, well, here's this dilemma I have. It's something that's bothering me. And they said, well, take that scenario, open up a door in your head, put that scenario in the door, shut the door, and put good on it. that scenario is good. You know how many times I've done that in the last like fucking month? I mean, like I'm putting fucking things in the doors all the time, but you know, in the loop. So if that helps anybody here, seriously, if you're having something that's just getting to you, say it's like a divorce, say it's like a death, say I don't know, it could be something little even, but I'm saying even big things. This is so goofy, but this works. Think in your head, take that. So say it's a person that's bothering you. Alex is bothering me. Instead of waking up being mad at Alex, thinking about Alex during the day, something pops me up, reminds me of you, that would make me mad because it lowers my whole consciousness, my vibration. What I mean by consciousness and vibration is my ability to be amazing, my ability to interact with people, my ability to make people happy, make myself happy too. So what I would do is I would mentally put you in the door and say, oh, go hang out in that room over there. I'm going to shut the door and I'm going to put good on the door because you're good. And then I'm not worried about it because where's Alex? Oh, he's the next thing he comes up. I'm like, oh shit, no, Alex is in the room. He's good. Now sometimes I'm like, oh fuck, it says not good now. You know what I'm like, God damn it,
the sign change.
No, yeah, that thing changes. But for the majority of it, that was deep.
Yeah, I think it's something fascinating because I've talked with a couple people on the podcast, and I get a lot of questions about those parts of the podcast because I think everyone is all suffering at the same time, and they don't really have any other people who've shared how they process it. But I think there was a couple you pointed on. Even if you're dead broke, a 30-minute massage somewhere can relieve way more stress than most people would ever give credit to.
Just don't go to the Asian ones. Those are a little weird.
Be careful.
Yeah. Remember that one you went to? You said, I'm just kidding you.
But I think another one too is some sort of therapist or mind coach. 100%. And I think especially the business owners out there hear the difference. A business coach is separate than a mind or emotion coach.
My business coach introduced me to the therapist.
Yeah, because they are different roles. They will affect each other. Your business can affect your mental health, and your mental health can affect your business. But a lot of times in I was coming up on 4 years being a business owner, every roadblock in business has come from emotion.
Of course. And it's in your head and you have to talk it out. So when you go to the therapist, so mine is a little different than most. It's not like, it's not somebody I see in person. She's out of town and I'm okay with that. But she's into raising your vibration, raising your consciousness. What I mean about that is understanding people around you, being able to interact with people. And that's why I like her as much. It's not as much of like Lindsey's having a bad day, wants to zing, which I do. But the reality is she coaches me and like, okay, maybe if you think about this different, here's the perspective. When I started with Jody, she was amazing. She's the business coach. She really got me going in understanding the disc stuff, like to understand the personalities. So we started with that years ago, and then we just kind of graduated into like the craziness. And now, and we go to Renee, and she's like doing the 7-year-old lady. Cut that out. It's a nice lady, but she's doing she'll do a normal like massage, and then she'll hold like my shoulder's been messed up. I've been doing too much crap as usual, but it's not bad. It's just one of those
tricep extensions, huh?
Yeah, dude, I was killing him today too. Anyways, so she sits there. She's like, "Is this hurt? Is this hurt?" And she just sits there and it's just calm. And whatever this Reiki thing is, I just feel good. And then afterwards, I go, God bless it, man. I just feel like I got this now. Everyone needs that.
Yeah.
Everyone needs that. If you're stuck in this cycle, if you're stuck in this loop, you got to get out of it. And there's only one way to get out of it, by not doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I always think of if anyone's ever seen The Matrix, let's say you haven't done counseling, but you've seen The Matrix, like you need to talk to the Oracle. Like everyone needs to have that moment. And it was funny, the first time, you watch The Matrix growing up and you see it as an action movie and then you just kind of don't think about it. But then as a business owner who had been doing therapy, I rewatched it. And there's a scene in the movie that always messes with me. And it's when Neo goes to see the Oracle. And she says, yeah, you're not going to save the day because he said he wasn't going to save the day. And when you rewatch it, you realize like he was programming the failed experience.
The whole thing in life is that. If you want to get into that, I'll tell you how that all works. Everybody that I've met. So I've been attracted to people for the last year in the weirdest way. I was like so intently trying to make relationships that I would think would make us money and do business things and all that. But that was totally the wrong way to do it. The world brings those people to you. Just like you said with him, he said, I'm not going to do this. So he was not doing this. So when I wake up, we're giving the golden goose today. We should be paying people for this.
Yeah.
Send me some dollars. I'll give you my cash app.
Yeah.
So this is the way it is. I wake up every day and I'm grateful for what I have. I'm giving the trick. Everyone pay attention. You can publish this wherever you want. I don't care because it's true. I wake up and I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for what's going on in my life. I'm grateful for people. I'm not like grateful I have 2 Tesla trucks. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this. You know, it's not that. It kind of, but I'm grateful for the people. I'm grateful to you, man. I mean, like that. You know, just because I know I'm gonna have a good day if I'm around the people I want to be around, and then your day's a lot better. Then I decide what I want and who I want to help and who I want to be around, and I do it, and it happens because, and then to 80% though, it's still true. And it may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It happens.
Yeah.
Those people come to you.
Yeah. And it's something that, and I think that's a thing I've noticed too, is when you put yourself out as actual you versus forced you get the right people. And I think there were several times, probably in the first year or two, I was a business owner where I didn't put out the real Alex. Mm-mm. And it attracts the wrong people. It works. I mean, you get something, but it's not what you actually want.
Well, when we started doing videos, did we talk about it? Everyone's doing, I'd like to tell you about my interest rate today. Let's talk about DSCR. What does it mean? Let's talk about what Fannie Mae said today. Screw Fannie Mae. We all know what's going on. We know all this stuff. I mean, this is crazy. If you want to go to sleep, go take a nap. I mean, I'm not doing this stuff. I told you I'm going to say, I want to talk about what the fuck I want to talk about. You're like, really? And I was like, let's talk about the food pyramid. I think it's fucked. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was the first thing I think I told you.
Yeah.
I was tricked by that for you. It's 7 to 9 things of grain, so you can be depressed, tired, and sad every day and fat. Yeah. Like, oh, that's nice. Let's do that.
How they feed zoo animals.
And then, by the way, the General Mills is loaded. Go figure. But that kind of stuff, I started talking about that, and then everything got better. I felt like relieved.
Because you had like this thought dam. For everyone watching, when I first met Lindsey, like if I had to diagnose an issue, it was like there was some wall in his head, and there were all these thoughts, some good, some bad, some indifferent. But there was like this, fear to express. I think I would call it the best way to put it.
I think in the mortgage industry, everyone does the same thing. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody kicks each other in the shin and take each other down. I mean, go through Cleveland, not to be rude to everybody, but come on.
Everyone knows each other.
And they all want to take each other out. They want to undercut each other. Go find one person that doesn't like me in the mortgage industry, because I won't do anything bad to you, because I don't need to. My goal is to make you better too, because there's enough business for everyone. It's just, how much are you going to go out to find it? Are you going to go meet the right people? I'm not going to connect with anybody. Oh my God, I got this one girl today. She's no names needed. Yeah. A realtor of a team. We'll never use this company again. Why? Well, he didn't give me enough money. Yeah. Then you know what? The good news is, fuck off. The bad news is, you're going to have a rough run. I'm not giving you money to do this. I mean, if you want me to help you grow your business and turn you into a beast, do you want me to take you up a notch and make sure you're having a good day by just a little back rub, or that little smile, or that little thing that I do every day to make sure that everyone around me is having a good day? I literally make it a point every day to be a gentleman. And what do you know the definition of a gentleman? To make people comfortable that you're around. So I surround myself by people, and I make them comfortable because I'm a gentleman to them. And that's literally it. Then I take them up to motivate them and just make sure that they're all having a good day. Now, some don't want to be motivated, but some need to be.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't push if they don't want to be pushed. But imagine if that person would have called me and said, Lindsey, we have this great idea. We're going to do this. We're going to go do this, but we need to fund a little bit of this to do this, to share some lead share or something. But I want to take it up a notch, and I want to kill it. I want to do this. No, you didn't do that. You talk shit about us and then ask me for money. And then when I didn't give it to you, oh, we'll never do that again. You've saved me from the headache of someone that just doesn't do business the right way.
Yeah. And I think that's something I admire about you as well, is when we had a lot of behind closed doors talks, not on video, there is a lot of knowing what to turn down, which I've learned in the last, I think you and I talked about it when we first met. I'm in the maybe 1 year mark of learning what to say no to, which seems to be almost a bigger skill than what to say yes to.
Listen, I got 99 problems, and I ain't one with those people. I mean, seriously, because when not just her and her team, because they're going to have a fun run. Because if you start on a bad note, you end on a bad note. Let's call it what it is. And again, I'm not saying names, but the reality is, people come at me all day. They want money. They want my time. They want something from me. Everybody wants something. It's the people that want something of growth, to get better, to want to be helped. It's the people with the handout of what do you got for me? That's not my gig, buddy. And it will never be, but they come. Oh, do they come? But those other people that come in and say, listen, let's just take this up a notch. I need a little boost. And how's this going for you? Can we do this? What do you think about this? I'm like, Get your ass in this chair. Let's do it. I'll spend 4 hours. I'll cancel my shit. I'll make sure that they're going to be taking over the world by the time Elon number 2.0 coming. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying I'm the end all of anything, but all I am is doing what I can do to be the best me and make that person the best them.
And you can feel it. Like I go to a lot of networking events, and I think like one specifically, it wasn't a huge event, but when Steve had his group there,
Oh, yeah.
it was a lot of the big hitters in Northeast Ohio, but socially it was probably the most comfortable I had been at an event this year.
Because we chill, we get along, and everybody has a good conversation with each other. There's no egos. I'm telling you, the other thing I'm more interested. Oh my God, I love it. A lot of people copy me. That's the best thing. Old companies I was at. Oh man, everybody copies me. It's the fucking best. It's very flattering. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
But that doesn't bother me one bit. I actually feel good about it. You know, I get a couple people who call me. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? I'm like, yeah, I can. Because awesome. I did it. You know what I mean? Like, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like Vishu. I work with Vishu, the Guardian's executive chef. Very close friend of mine. I love him to death. He made this Wagyu candle and he melted it down. He made this candle. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking do that. It's cool as shit. You know, and so I did it for Thanksgiving. So I call him. I'm like, you know, and I didn't know him that well. You know, I was getting to know him.
You're like, if a guy were to do this.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, what is mine today is yours tomorrow. And that was it. That's it. There's no ego.
Yeah.
So that's why I love that guy. He's going to be always around no matter whatever happens. As long as Vishu's kicking, I'm hanging with Vishu. So what I'm saying, though, is that's the kind of thing that we're lacking in the mortgage industry. Everybody wants to play this game of let me kick them while they're down, run in front of them. Yep, I'm here now. That lender sucks. They're going to drop the ball. They're going to do this. Instead, what if I took the approach of maybe they're having a bad day. We don't know what's happening in their family life. Maybe their dog is sick. Maybe their grandma's sick, or maybe they're just pissed off.
Yeah.
Give them a little gosh darn grace. You know, when it's 3 minutes and the person's calling the next person, Lindsey, I'll never believe. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, but instead, the other approach gets us a lot of deals that people fall apart with. So we'll get a lot, and Ken's very good at this. He's like a savant when it comes to this. He can run deals that we need to get done. So people will call us all the time with flub ups, you know, whatever it would be. And I don't go, oh, they suck. That's why this happened. I go, no, that sucks. That happened. Let's work on fixing it. Let's take a positive approach and try to work through it. If the mortgage people did this in the industry, they'd be much more successful.
Yeah, and I think that's like every time I see Ken at a networking event, I feel like someone's complaining about a load, and Ken's just silently, beep, we can fix that.
Yeah, literally, that's it. It's like, you know, it's like, I mean, you've seen Rain Man, right?
Yeah.
He knows his underwear at Kmart in Cincinnati, Ohio. No, I'm just kidding. I love him to death, but the reality of it is, he's working those numbers in his head the whole time, and he understands.
And just listening.
Yeah, he's more of the numbers guy than, you know. Obviously, I'm a little bit more outgoing, but that's why we yin yang each other pretty good with that stuff.
I remember. I forget who the realtor was, but it was after the realtor luncheon, and he was complaining about a DSCR loan that didn't go how he wanted, or maybe it wasn't done yet. And I remember Ken sitting there in silence, and then he goes, "Do you think you guys could get me a quote?" I forget the number was, but Ken like on the spot had the number.
Right on the spot.
He goes, "Oh, is that an estimate?" He goes, "No, that's the number." And the guy's like, "Let's do it." Yeah.
Yeah, because he's very direct with that stuff. He's very good. Yeah, I have a problem with the mortgage industry a lot, and so that's why I would consider us kind of a boutique lender a little bit, because it's kind of my own version. I mean, that's why I put my name on it. That's why I put a rhino, because it's always looking forward. It's never looking backwards. We're always looking forward. I don't want to talk about what happened yesterday because I have this weird theory on time, and if you want to hear that, I'll tell you that. But it's
let's break it down.
All right. So now this is good. Now you all think I'm psycho. So we all talk about what's happened. I'm wearing a watch. You're wearing a watch. You know, so we're always looking at time. Time's a useful part of our lives. But what's happened in the past isn't happening now. Now maybe it shapes some of the things that are happening now. But what's happening in the future isn't happening now. What's happening now is happening right now. This is the moment. I'm sitting with you. This is the time. Everything happening, I want to embrace right now. I'm not worried about 10 minutes of what I'm making, you know, with having this, or, you know, do I want to plan for dinner? Sure. But am I sitting here focused on something that hasn't happened, or maybe will never happen? They might hit the nukes over here. We're done. Or I might drop as I go outside. Why the hell am I worried about 90% of something that'll never happen?
Yeah.
So what I worry about is right now. I worry about the people right in front of me. I worry about how this is going. I plan. And I'm not worried about what happened in the past, because if I worry about what happened in the past, it's just going to cloud my future and my current time. So if I can help anybody today, live in the moment, embrace your feelings, embrace everything happening. I have horrible feelings sometimes. I mean, things are all, happen to me all the time, but embrace that moment because it's happening to you and you're having a feeling when someone maybe isn't.
Yeah. And I think for everyone watching, I say we call it there. We're going to have to run back another podcast. But a lot of the stuff Lindsey said is crazy today. It isn't. A lot of the successful people I work with, they all think this way. It's not an uncommon train of thought. And I think the reason why he gives you a lot of these statements of it might sound crazy is because it does to the people who don't want you to grow. To the people who are in your life that aren't positive, you're going to have those kind of responses. But as a guy here, and I'm sure plenty others, if you need me to connect you to them, we all do think this way. And if there's anything you can take away from this episode, we didn't yap about mortgages. We didn't complain about the state of social media and TikTok being banned. We're just two people that like working together. And I think the more you can find those people, a lot of the issues in your life will solve themselves. So, Lindsey,